I know it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. It seems like we humans have never been to space. And everything that NASA has been saying for all these years is now finally being seen for what it actually is. It just seems like NASA has been using green screen and all sorts of Hollywood technology in order to make us believe that they've been in space, and all the live streams that they've been doing from the space shuttle where they say that there's zero gravity up there in space and all that stuff. It seems like those live streams were actually false. We're all just a setup, and they've been using green screen and trying to fool us for all these years, in which people have paid attention and caught on to their lies. One of these videos are right here. Take a look at this stuff.
This guy's doing a flip right here, and the guy next to him just reaches up and grabs a harness that's right on his hip.
Look at that stuff. Do you actually see this? I want to zoom in for you guys.
I gotta pause it real quick. I'm gonna pause it because
look at that stuff. He's literally grabbing onto the harness because that's what's making him float. It's not gravity. It's not zero gravity out there in the space. It's basically the harness. I don't know, for whatever reason, you know, NASA has been using all these technologies and all the funding that they've been receiving in order to basically deceive us into believing that they've been in space, and all these live streams are actually from space.
the funniest part to me, well, there's several funny parts, by the way.
I don't know.
But the lady in the background with the hair.
Yeah.
It's like, did someone not think that like we've got to make her hair look like that, right? It's got to be standing up.
Yeah.
Dude, it is hard as a rock. It's not moving.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this is somebody, we must be in space.
I know, right? Like, it just seems like they've just sprayed her hair and it's not supposed to move from that particular position. It's like not even a single hair is like moving, or there is no wavy position or nothing.
Look at her hair. Like,
look at that stuff.
Obviously, you know, there's a thing called hairspray. Yeah. So here goes this guy doing a backflip,
And then gravity just like gravity goes away. It must have found a pocket.
gravity goes away and he fell.
Yeah.
Or he got caught up in that harness he's wearing. Yeah, I'm good to go. Hey, I gotta go. Yeah.
And then he just magically disappears.
What we
Watch
got back
this.
there? Another green screen.
And this guy,
The ones where they're doing the flip, he's hanging his shirt, like you can see, like
literally see that the strings are attached to his shirt, and it's basically just pulling upwards as he's leaning downwards. You know, these are like some of these cinematic gimmicks that they use in Hollywood industry in order to make movies.
You can clearly see the artist.
Look at that stuff.
It's like if you take your hands right now and you grab your shirt and you just pull out.
Yeah.
Like it's. Yeah. This one's my favorite right here.
green
The guy
shirt?
goes to reach for.
yeah.
Yeah. What a doofus.
But watch their thing at the end. I think this guy's always in it, man. He's the biggest
always
clown. Yeah.
Look at that. He's basically just taking support of like the strings that's like attached to his outfit.
He's the worst.
Look at that stuff.
Like they got to be like, hey Bob, we got to get you out of here, bro. Like you're blowing our.
Look at this.
Let me reach up there.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, kung fu.
Here, I'm gonna pause it real quick. So
that is really
we got to
funny.
expand.
So I imagine this guy in the green that's doing this flip, like when they're practicing, they're like, oh, this guy's got the shit, man. He nails every flip and you can never tell, right? So he's like the practice king of flips. But then whenever they go to film it, he gets nervous and he spoofs it up and grabs
And then he just holds the string right there, the invisible string.
his harness. Because he is the most...
He's Ray Finkel.
Yeah. Terrible, man.
These are like the things that, you know, NASA has been basically spreading to us, making us believe that they're being to space, and this is basically how space is, and we have zero gravity out there in space. But if that is the truth, why do they have to deceive us with all of these post-processed videos, like edited videos, fake videos of them being in space and claiming that they're in space, whereas in reality, it seems like they've just been in a movie studio, like a Hollywood studio, where they're just orchestrating all of this thing that isn't even real. This is not it. We also have another footage where it seems like they've just landed in one of these rovers in planet Mars, and on top of the rovers, thankfully, one of the audience captured this very, very tiny detail where it seems like a fly is basically just sitting on top of the rover. And how is it even possible for a fly to exist in Mars? That's the biggest question. Take a look at this stuff. Now look at the minute details. If you zoom right in here, it seems like you can actually see a tiny little fly over here. Is that an alien? Are you going to say that those are alien flies? That is just deception, man. And also we've got another footage right here where you can just take a look at this globe that this dude's holding, like one of the astronauts who's claiming that he's currently in space and they'll be live streaming from space.
One of the things that's interesting about up here, when you see that whole hurricane,
you're pretty amazed and you start taking pictures and all that of it, but then you forget.
Isn't that supposed to float?
People in danger down on Earth with the hurricanes and all that. So sometimes it's easy to lose perspective.
So if he's letting go of the globe, isn't it supposed to just go upward instead of downward? Like if they do claim that there is zero gravity, isn't it supposed to go up? Isn't it supposed to float up?
See that whole hurricane, you're pretty amazed.
But it just goes down. And the most funniest part of all is that NASA has been claiming that they've been to moon in 1971, and the footage that they actually have of them being in moon in 1971 is so far better than the footage that we have in 2025. Take a look at this stuff, man. Can you even believe they're literally driving a vehicle in moon? And in 2025, this is the best footage we've got of moon. How is that even possible? How is that even genuinely possible? How do they even create this stuff? Like, even if he's driving, who's the person who's taking the video of this stuff? We've also got another amazing exposure right here. Take a look at this stuff.
You know what's really weird? When there are bubbles in outer space. So this is footage from the ISS. And again, once again, it looks weird because there are bubbles in outer space, which I didn't think there would be bubbles in this helmet. Fortunately for us, got a reflection of something pretty strange, and when you zoom in and look what it is, it's a man in scuba equipment, which is interesting. I mean, why would that ever be? Could they possibly be filming this inside of a pool? I wonder. Weird, right? With all this deception, who the heck really knows anyway? I do know, though, this is just for entertainment purposes. If you want more entertainment, just go.
What if it's all just a deception where they're just shooting everything underwater? Because they have like the kind of funding, because it seems like they've been receiving billions of dollars every single year in order to fund NASA and all of their crazy exploration and stories. What if they're just using all of these things in order to just simply deceive us? Now, what's really amazing is that one of the reporters, he actually takes the Bible in his hand and asks every single astronaut that claim that they've been to the space and they've been to moon to basically just swear on the Bible and accept that they have actually been to the moon and it's not a lie. And none of the astronauts, and I mean absolutely none of them, are agreeing to swear on the Bible. They're just running away from the reporter, trying to just avoid the question entirely, and we don't even know why that is. Take a look at this footage right here.
Moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
It's just running. Look
So
at
why
that.
don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Cybro, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Oh.
You're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator
Knowing you, I think it's probably a fake Bible is the only thing that he could answer.
at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get
I had that. I appreciate it.
Well, take your stuff and get the
If you walked on the moon,
Why would they not swear? That's the biggest point. Are they like really so afraid of God? To be honest, like they are just literally so scared. Like if these guys are lying to the entire humanity, what makes them think that they need to be scared or afraid of swearing on the Bible? So this means that they seem to know that God is real. They seem to know that everything that's outer space and the things that they've known for all these years, most probably it seems like they already know that everything that is in the Bible is actually the truth, and they're just too afraid to just take the swear an oath, and instead they just try to run away because it's very obvious that they obviously cannot say the truth and they can't even accept it, because if they do, then most probably their families and their own lives are going to be a threat, and someone who's been controlling the entire world is the person that's basically controlling everything, even NASA itself. And finally, someone had the courage in 2023 to take NASA to the court of law in order to expose them for all the editing and post-processing and all of those VFX that they've been using in order to make us believe that they've been in space. And this is the conversation that went on in the court.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Take a look at
Today
this
I'd like
stuff.
to bring to your attention a potential fraud on an enormous scale happening in York County. There's now clear evidence of NASA using numerous methods to grossly mislead the public about astronauts being on the International Space Station. During interior ISS scenes from NASA's own live feed, the use of wires, harnesses, green screens, and virtual reality have been detected to achieve the appearance of a weightless environment. Examples of this include astronauts fading in and out of the screen,
That is
green
funniest
screen
part.
glitches, grabbing objects that aren't really there, pulling on invisible wires, getting tangled in their harnesses, and even astronauts appearing out of thin air. This begs the obvious question. Up there, why are they using Hollywood techniques to fake the footage? Now, unfortunately, I can't show you these clips in here today, but I will be sending them to you. Outside the International Space Station, during spacewalks, air bubbles have been recorded on numerous occasions.
Look at that stuff. Look at all of those bubbles.
How is it possible for air bubbles to be present in the vacuum of space? I once questioned astronaut Scott Kelly about this phenomenon. His body language and answers only created more questions. In 2013, astronaut Luca Parmitano nearly drowned during a spacewalk when his helmet filled with water. This happened again just last year. Air bubbles, helmets filling with water, and drowning. Are they in space or are they underwater?
Exactly.
Now, what's really interesting is that they trained for spacewalks in an underwater pool with a complete ISS replica. Now, surely they aren't filming these spacewalks in an underwater pool and then
Look
editing.
at that stuff. So this is how easy it is to like simply just manipulate us using the editing techniques.
them.
They can just simply remove the water and add in like a complete Earth behind and just make us believe that they're just working in space.
Disappear if they're in space.
Look at
Because
that
that
stuff.
sure would be something, wouldn't it?
And everybody would believe it because it's coming from NASA. And obviously, nobody just questions anything. It just seems like we just look at things that's being informed from NASA, from the government, and we just accept it. And we just think that is science. That is like the actual proof of life. And we don't really know anything apart from that.
I'm calling on the Brevard County Commissioners to open a full investigation into NASA's fraudulent practices and use of taxpayer dollars. It costs NASA $3 billion per year to operate
Damn.
the ISS, and if they don't have a darn good explanation as to why they're faking these videos, I and the public would like a darn good explanation as to where our tax money is going. And if they are
Exactly.
indeed faking the funk, it is our duty to expose and eliminate this fraudulent and astronomically wasteful ISS program. And look, I know what you're all thinking. The NASA is part of the federal government, and you're just
Exactly.
county commissioners. Even
Can't
if
really
what
do
I'm
anything.
saying is true, what can you do? But let me remind you, not only is this happening in your county, as public officials, you have the platform and the ability to make a statement or hold a press conference, alerting the public, state, and federal authorities to investigate further. You have the power to start the conversation. Video evidence of everything I described today will be emailed to you all, and I truly hope we can get to the bottom of this. I look forward to the day that $3 billion annual budget is put towards our
$3
veterans,
billion.
our homeless.
Wow. $3 billion is the annual budget that they give to NASA. That's just insane. They could literally end world hunger with that kind of money. And they decide to just throw it all at NASA. And the only thing that these guys have been doing for all these years is basically just deceiving us. And what's interesting is that NASA actually says that there are hundreds and thousands of satellites that keep flying about in space, and you can basically look at all those satellites. I think this video actually shows us the proof of that stuff.
So let's take a
this
look
stuff.
at some of the most recent supposedly spacewalks from the ISS. And I want you to notice in the background of all these supposed spacewalk videos,
Do you even think that this is real Earth? Can they not just fake it? It's just that easy.
where's
man.
all those 8,316 satellites in low Earth orbit with it at? You don't see them anywhere. Let's just have a look at some of these real quick. Now, if these spacewalks were real, you'd be looking at, what, almost 1/3 of the supposed spinning ball Earth right now.
There's not a single, and I mean there's not a single satellites out
You
there.
don't see no satellites
Literally
in this
none.
low Earth orbit with this supposed ISS. Oh, let me guess. They're all on the other side of the ball right now, right?
They've always got some explanation,
You
man.
can keep watching and keep watching, but you're never going to find one in any of these NASA videos. And I'm just showing you a few. You could go on their website and look at all of them. Look at this right here. Where's all those satellites at? No, no satellites. Not a one floating around anywhere. But there's supposed to be 8,316 of them supposedly right here in this low Earth orbit with this ISS. Satellites in real time. And as you'll see here, they're telling us there's 13,000 satellites
It's like swarming with all of these satellites
up here in real time, even giving you the names of them. Look at that. 13,000 satellites with all their names. Now check this out. Now, if you go to NASA's
Not a single
supposed
one of them.
ISS 4K live stream, as you can see here, Guess what? No satellites. Let me know when you spot one. You won't. You know why? Because this is CGI and there are no satellites in space. None. Nada.
It's all basically just bullshit and lies. Is that what it is? And look at another footage right here, which is exposing
some Chinese
NASA.
space station way up in space.
And this is one of their live streams,
100%
right?
100% guaranteed, way up in space. Space, totally real. And here are astronauts, totally clean cut, like they just arrived yesterday. Sharp haircuts and everything, very clean. It probably is their 300th day, though. We don't know. Here they are floating around because there's no gravity up there.
So everyone's floating in, including her hair and all the objects. Everything's floating, right? And look at this water right here. It just seems like they forgot to make the water float.
There's no gravity, so we know that there's no gravity.
They just forgot to edit that one out.
Problem. The glass of water forgot to float. What is it doing? Doesn't it know that it's supposed to be in space?
Look at that stuff.
Is it pocket of gravity?
I
know
like
that
the
there's an
glass is
answer. There
resting.
always is an answer. And it's going to be some magical, like, settling equation or something like that. Actually, I think I see a little bit of curve on that water.
They always have an explanation, man. They would just say that it's the equation, it's like the settling effect of this and that, there's like a low atmospheric pressure whatsoever. They always have some bullshit explanation to give, and people just back this stuff up because it's coming from NASA, from the official source, so that should be the only truth. And anyone that questions it is a fool for not knowing science. And look at this footage. This is basically how easy it is for NASA to deceive us. Just take a look at how this guy is using. Like, obviously you're seeing the right side footage. You obviously think that he's all the way up there in the air and he's probably just going to fall off this cliff, right? Take a look at how easy this whole stuff is for them to orchestrate the entire Earth spinning below, and they're just sitting up there in space and like working on all of these satellites and space station. Is it even true? Look at this stuff.
老铁们，你们总说我拍段子不够平，我今天就拼一次给你们看。
Oh my. And that is all it takes. That is basically all it takes for an amateur guy to create a post-processing effect like that. And a company with billions of dollars, you think they can do it? And they're just filming all of this stuff underwater and they just replace it with space. That's how easy it is. Look at that. Water replaced with green screen. And then behind is just Earth. This is how easy it is. That's basically how they film the video games as well as movies, which takes place in space and all that stuff, There's also a podcast episode that was like aired in Joe Rogan's, where this dude actually gives like a pretty good explanation as to why NASA might be faking everything that they've been saying so far.
Fakes footage. And if you look into it, it's fucking obvious that NASA is putting out fake footage. They're clearly on wires in some of that footage. Clearly, some of that footage is underwater, and there's bubbles fucking floating up and shit. But
Which footage?
Just like NASA publishes all kinds of footage, from like the ISS to they have live streams to they do like videos, and no one ever watches it because like whoever watches random.
So you
NASA
think some
footage,
of the ISS footage is fake?
There's a lot of footage you can find online that is coming from NASA where there's like little slips or like a guy is like they're doing their floating shit and then the buddy reaches out and grabs where a wire is to help his buddy get back into frame, like little slips of the mind where they're like just trying to orchestrate. There's a lot of reasons why NASA would cover up and produce fake footage from something
because they
like
get
the
a lot of
ISS.
funding,
I'm just saying that
right?
People tend to look at a piece of evidence and jump too quickly on the one explanation that they're sure is right. And sometimes there's other explanations.
Conspiracy theorists out there, how would you prove to us that you're in zero gravity?
Okay, you're about to change your mind? Exactly. Because you can't have bubbles in space. And it just fades out. Look at that stuff. He just fades out. That's the best part. The dude literally just fades out. Let me just zoom this in. Look at this stuff. The dude just fades out. It's just ghosting. So is everything just a lie at the end of the day? What is this? Ah, yeah, the reflection. You can actually see that the reflection, someone's wearing the scuba suit and shooting the whole process. Look at that stuff. He's wearing a scuba suit, literally. And if you believe that NASA's actually saying the truth because they just make water float out there in space, then you should actually take a look at this footage right here, because an amateur basically made this all happen with just post-processing and edits. This is how easy it is. Look at that stuff, and he just made water float. That's how easy it is to like do all these things. And imagine now, a company that has billions of dollars that they keep getting every single year from the government, from all the taxpayers and all the money that's going to these people. Do you think it's really hard for them to like make all of these things into fake? And don't you think that they're going to have like enough technology in order to create all of these things so that they can just put out videos and say that they are currently in space? It just seems like all of these things NASA is just trying to cover up, and most probably they're not just doing it in order to like get the funding, because the whole agenda is way above all the funding and money, because it seems like they're trying to hide God from us. They're trying to not let us know the real truth that the Bible says about the firmament that's present above the earth. So obviously they can't really break the firmament. They know that. So the only thing that they could do is basically just create deception and create lies and just feed it right from the beginning stage of our life, from childhood, from school. We just learned that this is how Earth looks, and we just learned that we people have gone to moon and space, and nobody teaches us about the firmament. That's the only thing that's present in the Bible and the religious scriptures. But then NASA, were known to be one of the biggest deceivers, they have never ever addressed the firmament stuff that's being mentioned in the Bible. They just make us believe that those things are fairy tales, and they are basically creating a deception, which they are making it seem like this is science and you need to study that and this is the reality. And most people are so lost that they just don't even question it. And I think we are all basically being lied to from the whole organization. Now, I honestly don't even know if this video is going to be up, if YouTube is going to allow for this video to stay online. But if it does, then please make sure to go ahead and share this video with as many people as possible so that they can wake up and know that the world is trying to deceive us from knowing the truth that is present in the scriptures of God. So please make sure to go ahead, share this video, drop a like, leave a comment, because that also helps the algorithm boost the video and show it to more people. So your support is very, very much appreciated. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Till then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.